things they say, you can't put two guys in one hole.
No, that's not what they say, Mark Schlereth. I've never heard anybody say that. What does it sound like, though, if there are two guys in one hole? And if you do happen to fit two guys in one hole, you will need to
wear a diaper.
The Broncos ended the Vikings win streak. The Eagles asserted their dominance on Monday night. Tommy DeVito is the king of New York, and the Lions survived a bear attack. We'll rehash the real winners and losers from NFL Week 11 after the Blop 10. The kids are asking that. We blop it like it's hot. Blop it like it's hot. Number 10, Lions punter Jack Box showed up to the game dressed like a knight for some reason. And Aiden Hutchinson said goodnight to the Bears after the final play went for a Lions safety, and he punted this ball into orbit. Blop 9, Jalen Carter nearly intercepting Patrick Mahomes on the spike, where he's trying to clock the ball. Oh my God, if this ever happens, it will be the best play any of us have ever seen in an NFL game. Carter, by the way, saw this on YouTube. Thought he'd just try it. This is YouTube. How about you try and sack Mahomes more? Number 8, my most wide open throw of the week goes to Kenneth Pickett. This throw was so wide open, nobody was there to catch it. Number 7, if you have a wife or girlfriend, make sure she's not following Dalton Schultz on social media, because if this mother licker slides untouched like this on the field, you know he's doing even nastier slides into DMs. Blop 6, Zach Wilson. Every time he sees a girl his own age.
Oh dear.
Blop 5, Myles Garrett still cannot be trusted with the Steelers helmet in his hand. Somewhere on the Steelers sideline, Mason Rudolph felt the dull pain on the side of his head. Blop 4, Jeffrey Simmons scores a touchdown. The Titans did just two good things in this game. The first was letting it in quickly. The second was giving us the elusive big man defensive touchdown by Jeffrey Simmons. Bad news, this makes Simmons the Titans' third leading receiver in touchdowns this season. Number 3, Deron Bland gets his 4th pick 6, ties the most ever in a single season with Eric Allen, Jim Kearney, and Ken Houston. If you don't know who those guys are, it's because the last time we've seen 4 picks in a season was 1993 when Eric Allen did it. Number 2, Broncos receiver Jerry Jeudy pump fakes after catching a pass for no reason, and it totally works. And time to take it to the next level, in my opinion. Get open on routes by pump faking guys before you even get the football thrown to you. And my Blop 1, Dan Snyder may be gone, but his shitty stadium is still taking its toll. Neither the Giants nor the Commies had hot water after the game, which forced all 16 players to drive 12 minutes down the road and shower at Tommy DeVito's parents' house. Snacks for everybody after the showers. And my Blop 0, Aiden O'Connell, with the game on the line, does the one thing worse than taking a blop sack. He throws the ball right to Miami. The Blop 0 will lead us right to my losing quarterback, and I'm not going to be too hard on Aiden O'Connell, but the McDaniels divorce moon is over. Antonio Pierce could have been the first interim head coach to go 3-0, and the Raiders played a very respectable game. They did. Initially, I thought AOC solidified Nevada as a blue state for the next 12 years with this bomb to Devontae Adams. Instead, I'm not sure AOC will win re-election for the Raiders as he tossed 3 picks, all coming in the second half. Miami had just missed a field goal in the third, and with a chance to capitalize, O'Connell got robbed by Jalen Ramsey. Winning defender, Jalen Ramsey. That was the first of Jalen's picks, but it was his game-sealing interception in the end zone that has me believing he's still one of the best corners in the game. In just his 3rd game back this season, Ramsey has 3 picks. The way he's emasculating opposing young QBs, he's morphed into Jalen Ramsey Bolton. Careful, Aiden. He might try and cut off your mustache. The all-infirmary game? Fuck! Thursday Night Football, Ravens-Bengals. Mark Andrews left the game in the first minute after suffering a cracked fibula and ankle ligament injury. Then you had Lamar Jackson, who was hobbling around with an ankle injury of his own. And the biggest loss of all was Joe Burrow, who will miss the rest of the season, needing surgery to repair a ligament in his right wrist. An injury that might get the Bengals in trouble for not disclosing prior to this game. If I had a magic power, I would have waved my magic wand. that in no way would be shaped like a dildo and make sure this Ravens-Bengals game just never happened. We also had a bad injury to Taylor Rapp in the Bills-Jets game, and of course CBS cut between the ambulance and Damar Hamlin. And somewhere, Zach Wilson was falling on his own ass. And my F the refs call of the week, this hit on Will Levis. I guess hitting a quarterback with the ball still in his hand, not landing on him with your body weight, but landing on your teammate with your body weight, transfers the force of the hit through the turf and back into the QB. You know, when I say it like that, I don't know how you couldn't throw a flag in that situation. Remember, all proceeds of my Fuck the Refs coffee sales do go to the refs. It's the only charity out there. Winners, lovers of cheese, or just plain love. Love is all we read. You like wordplay, kids? Well, I've got the need for Reed, who is, yes, speed. The Packers and Chargers exchanged touchdowns in the second quarter. The Packers defense nearly got stoned to death when Stone Smart scored. Why does Stone Smart sound like an insult for a mildly dumb person? He's not dumb as a rock, he's just stone smart. Losers, Chargers skill players. Keenan Allen dropped the most wide open touchdown of his career. Could it have been the sun playing defense? No, that's God purposely blinding the Chargers because he hates them for reasons I'll never understand. It gets worse because Austin Eckler falls down on the handoff and also fumbles at the goal line. This is the most Chargers play I've ever seen. But wait, there's more. With the game on the line, rookie first-round pick Quentin Johnston drops the possible game winner. Now, I do like poking fun at Justin Herbert, but when your best receiver, best running back, and top rookie negate double digits worth of points for you, that's 100% your fault, Justin. Play better. And for all of you channeling your inner Giselle saying, Justin Herbert can't throw and catch his own passes, I say you're wrong. If Kellen Moore is worth his weight as a play caller, this will be the only passing play we see the Chargers run moving forward. I'm giving my winning throw, though, to Jordan Loves. Yeah, he's plural now. Love to Dobbs to win it. Shakespeare gave us the greatest love story of all time in Romeo and Juliet. Well, the NFL just made Shakespeare its bitch with the greatest modern love story with Romeo we've ever seen. Love's first 300-yard passing game of his career. Nice job. Brandon Staley was pissed after the game when a reporter asked him if he'd stop calling plays for the defense.
You can stop asking that question.
So you're saying you are going to call the defense?
I'm going to be calling the defenses.
But have you thought about not calling the defense?
I'm going to be calling the defenses.
So you are going to call the defense still?
You can stop asking that question.
Just to get clarity, you're going to call the defense still?
You can stop asking that question.
Okay.
Okay?
But are you?
So you don't have to ask that again.
Staley was the media's favorite coach 2 years ago, and now they're publicly sparring. It's crazy what love will do. And somewhere, Zach Wilson was indeed falling on his own ass. Winner, 3 sport athletes. CJ Stroud is so good because he incorporates football, baseball, and basketball into his warm-up routine. I want to see other athletes incorporate football into their warm-ups. If Wembanyama isn't hitting the blocking sled before his next game, I'll know for sure he has no chance of winning Rookie of the Year. Winning hit? It's going to Aaron Donald. This game also gets my toughest loss. Sorry, Seattle. Seattle was outplaying the Rams for the majority of this game, as this god-awful flea flicker attempt by the Rams would lead you to believe. The series before that is when Aaron Donald broke all of Geno Smith's stationery so he could never ride again even if he desired to. Geno exited the game and Drew Horsecock Locke strutted onto the field and threw this clutch interception, a key piece in the Russell Wilson trade to balance everything out finally. The Rams got back into it in the fourth with Darrell Henderson scoring a touchdown and a late field goal. Old Pete Carroll, though, trusted an injured Geno Smith over a totally healthy Drew Lock. And that was absolutely the right call. Geno dealt the Seahawks back into field goal range, hitting DK Metcalf. But with first place in the NFC West on the line, Jason Myers 55-yard attempt pushes right after he had already nailed 2 50-yarders in this game. All made possible by that Aaron Donald hit. Winning QB, Tommy Boy DeVito. The Giants were my worst team in my reverse power rankings episode, and then Tommy D comes in, throws a dime to Saquon, and then another one for a touchdown. Reminds everyone, just in case we forgot, that he is still a very Italian. He's a very Italian about it. The Giants have got it a win, but DeVito had a passer rating of 137 about it. To be clear, if you didn't understand what I said, he had a passer rating of 137 and got sacked 9 times, which makes his pro comp actually Russell Wilson. 3 passing TDs for DeVito. If that felt special, Giants fans, well, it's because Daniel Jones hasn't had a 3-touchdown passing performance since 2019. Hey, how about I use Tommy DeVito to hit Kenny Pickett with the stray? Tommy D has more multiple TD passing games than Kenny Pickett. There was a scuffle, a dust-up, if you will, in the second quarter of this game after Sam howled into the end zone. Curtis Samuel and Cordale Flott were tossed for dusting it up, but love always trumps violence, as Kayvon Thibodeau showed us after he sacked and then proposed to Sam Howell. Did you just ask him to marry you? Sam Howell said yes to the dress and made sure the Giants, now picking at 5, don't get their QB of the future, with the final terrible throw resulting in a commanding 31-19 win for the Giants. 3 picks and 3 fumbles for the Commanders' offense. New York gets shafted by their own picks, just like Anthony Weiner. Remember that guy? The Kirk Cousins Award. The Vikings started the season 1-4. Kirk Cousins was playing out of his mind. So I created the Kirk Cousins Award for a quarterback who watches his team lose no matter what the fuck he does. This week, it's going to Justin Fields, who was beating Goff so dang hard his hand started bleeding. I'm asking the NFL to fine him for his lewd behavior. Justin Fields rushed for over 100 yards, threw an absolute dot to DJ Moore, only to watch as Detroit scored 17 fourth-quarter points to get the win. Jared Goff threw 3 picks in this game. Fields had 0, and after one of those picks, Fields watched in horror as Tyler Scott fumbled away his pass. Tyler, the creator of turnovers. And Justin Fields may have wished that he couldn't watch his lead slowly slip away, but Braxton Jones literally couldn't see.
I couldn't fucking see!
Jones will have a great career as an NFL official if this is a long-term injury. And if you were wondering, yes, somewhere, Zach Wilson was falling on his own ass. Winner, the 39th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter, who is still alive despite Scott Hansen announcing his death.
I'll just pass along to you that Rosalind Carter, the wife of the late President Jimmy Carter, has died at the age of 96. Rosalind Carter and Jimmy Carter were married for 77 years.
God, I hope when I die, Scott breaks the news on Red Zone 2.
But by the way, when I just shared the Rosalind Carter information, I believe I accidentally said the late Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter's still alive.
Winning comeback, the Lions, who are officially so good they win games they should lose.
Wear a diaper before some of these games.
Fields' mistake was beating Goff way too early. Chicago had a 26-14 lead with 4:15 left in the game, and then Goff comes through, hitting Jameson like it's St. Patty's Day. Nearly 30% of Jameson Williams' career catches are touchdowns of 30 or more yards. Justin Fields actually put the perfect amount of air under this ball, but Tyler Scott slows down, stutter steps or something, and can't get it on 3rd and 9. Luckily, the Bears still won as David Montgomery catches a pass for a first down, rushes for a first down, catches a pass for 9 yards, rushes for a first down, and scores the game-winning touchdowns, is what I would have said if David still played for the fucking Bears. Losing stat, Kenny Pickett and Anthony Richardson have the same number of touchdown passes since October 1st. Winning stat, the Detroit Lions are 8-2 for the first time since the 60s, which means the Lions are 8-2 for basically the first time ever.
Wear a diaper.
Winning duo, it's going to Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk had 156 receiving yards on 5 receptions. He had the most receiving yards by any ball catcher all week. Ayuk also leads the league in yards per reception. Brock Purdy finished the game with 3 TD passes, 0 picks, and the rare perfect passer rating. Purdy gets knocked for completing a lot of short passes, but he leads the league in yards per attempt at 9.7, which is 1.2 yards more than Tua right now, and he put on a clinic in this game, going 21-25. On the other side, Baker Mayfield threw his first red zone pick in 4 years as the Bucs fell 27-14. Now, I really wanted to give Kenny Pickett the losing QB honors, but nobody wants to play that Cleveland defense, especially the shitty Steelers offense. My losing play caller instead's going to Matt Canada, who watched Jaylen Warren do this, and also do this, later in the game, and still made sure Najee Harris would finish with more carries than Warren. 129 rushing yards for Warren against one of the best defenses in the league, and he got 9 total carries. A 74-yard touchdown from Warren, and you're like, let me make sure Najee gets his 12 touches on 2.9 per carry, Canada. That's the longest Steelers rushing touchdown since Le'Veon Bell was more focused on football than rapping. You found the one thing that could win you the game, and you opted for Kenny Pickett to throw it 28 times for 106 yards. 77 adjusted after sack yards lost. Congrats to Dorian Thompson-Robinson for getting the dub with the lowest passer rating of the week and a pick. But I give him a lot of credit for getting the Browns into field goal range on that final drive for the victory. And yeah, old Zachy Wilson falling on his own ass. Best clutch moment goes to Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton. Just an incredible catch for the second straight week. I'm starting to believe it's going to happen every week. I already reviewed that entire game. You can watch it here on That's Good Sports. This is the thumbnail. That's what it looks like. Losing team, the Titans have lost their 3rd game in a row thanks to a lackluster offensive performance in Will Levis's 4th career start. Now, a lot of that has to do with the rushing attack because in the last 2 games, Derrick Henry has 21 and 62 yards without a touchdown, and his longest run is just 16. Levis really wasn't bad in this game, hitting on 13 of 17 passes with 2 touchdowns and no picks. He did have a fumble, but let's forget about that. But the Titans offense really doesn't have any weapons under the age of 30, which might be a problem when you're trying to build a young QB. Maybe more snaps for Jeffrey Simmons at tight end can help you. My winning individual performer, Tank Dell. Another week, another absolutely insane performance for a Texans wide receiver that you hadn't really heard about before this season. Dell, suck it, HP. Hewlett-Packard, you fucking suck compared to Dell. The Texans' 3rd-round pick out of the nearby Houston University had 8 grabs for 149 yards and a touchdown in the win over Arizona. In the last 3 weeks, all wins for the Texans, Dell has put up 319 yards and 4 TDs. If not for Puka Nacua, Dell would be the leading rookie receiver in the NFL ahead of bigger names like Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, and Sam Laporta. And the only 2 Texan rookies to have more yards through this point of the season, Andre Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins. Not bad company to be in. If his quarterback wasn't going to win Rookie of the Year in a landslide, Tank Dell would certainly be creeping into that conversation. Winning team, Canada. No, not the Steelers OC, the country of Canada, who got to see an incredible finish in the Grey Cup. Winnipeg led Montreal with 11 seconds in the 4th quarter when Cody Fajardo threw a strike to the comically oversized end zone for the game-winning TD. Congratulations to the Alouettes. And congrats to the most outstanding player in the CFL, Chad Swag Kelly, who could easily have the Jets in playoff contention if he wasn't already needed up north. My winner, Breece Hall, because my losers are every Jet not named Breece Hall. Hall is the only Jet who scored a touchdown since week 5, guys. And the last guy to do it before then was, of course, Bryce Hall. The Jets have scored 3 touchdowns in the near month and a half since week 5, and they were all courtesy of the 2nd-year running back. It's almost like Nathaniel Hackett might not be a very good offensive coordinator, and the Broncos were, dare I say, the Jets Super Bowl this season. Well, New York, you can take the win and the Gilligan hats and the game balls, and we'll take the better coach in the 4-game win streak. Winners, GMs who traded for players before the deadline. Buffalo traded for Rasul Douglas, and he had his first 2 picks as a Bill against the Jets. The Bears surrendered a second-rounder for Montez Sweat, and he had a sack for Chicago in their loss to the Lions. Chase Young had his second straight week with a sack as a 49er, and Josh Dobbs, while he didn't beat the Broncos, had a nice game with the passing and rushing touchdown for the 4th week in a row. 3rd straight for Minnesota. Turns out it's good to be aggressive at the trade deadline. And yes, Zach Wilson was somewhere, falling on his own ass. Winning sacks, the Dallas Cowboys, who got to Bryce Young 7 times. I don't want to pile on Bryce Young. I'm doing a balls deep on Bryce Young dropping Thanksgiving morning. But you got sacked by the Cowboys 7 times. And while I mentioned Deron Bland had his 4th pick 6 of the year, that was also the 3rd pick 6 thrown by Bryce Young in the last 3 weeks. The Panthers rookie QB is averaging just 5.2 yards per attempt this season, and he didn't help his cause against Dallas, throwing for just 4.3 yards per pass attempt in the loss. The Panthers offense did have an impressive 17-play drive that ended in a touchdown, but they're lacking in explosive plays and playmakers, and it might take a while to fix what's going wrong for Carolina.
Winners, the Denver Broncos, who watched the Chargers, Raiders, and finally Chiefs lose on Monday Night Football, all whilst they won. KC became the most recent victim of the curse wheel and literally dropped the possible game-winning touchdown as Philly advanced to 9-1 for the 2nd straight season. Everyone is piling on MVS for this drop, which is fair, as he did go to the Quentin Johnston School of Catching Good, but my real loser, Travis Kelce. Kelce fumbled the ball away in the red zone, which was equally brutal for the Chiefs. My man Bradley Roby punches that ball loose and prevents KC from scoring, also losing the Chiefs' offense in the second half of football games. This was the 3rd game in a row where they scored 0 second-half points. Just a bizarre thing to say about a Mahomes-led offense. Winner, Jason Kelce being one of the oldest centers in the league and also being able to run this fast. His weight plus his age, in no civilized world should this be allowed. Philly, who quite honestly was dominated in the trenches most of the night before stealing a huge road win.
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube, and if you haven't checked out the Broncos Vikings recap yet, that video should be on the screen for you to click now.